Dear students, in this module, we'll be continuing with our ongoing chapter of biology, that is, human reproduction. This module will be dedicated to basically fertilization and implantation. Talking about fertilization and implantation, during copulation, the semen is released by the penis into the vagina, and that process is called as insemination. Approximately 300 million sperms are deposited in the vagina during an ejaculation. The rate of active movement of sperm is 1.5 to 3 millimeter per minute. But only a few hundred manage to reach the oviduct or the fallopian tube. Talking about the fertilization, it basically fusion of sperm with egg, that is referred to as fertilization, which takes place in the ampulla isthmic junction of the fallopian tube. The sperm, they enter through the vagina, making an entry through the cervical canal, the uterus, and the isthmus, and finally reaching the ampulla isthmus junction. Talking about the ovary, they move from the egg, it moves from the ovary through the fimbriae, there's finger-like projection to the infundibulum, then it reaches the ampullary region. Fertilization will take place only when the ovum and the sperm are transported simultaneously to the ampulla isthmic junction. Talking about fertilization and implantation, the sperm, it comes in contact with zona pellucida. The sperm, they undergo capacitation that lasts for a period of 7 hours, during which the glycoprotein coat is removed from the surface of sperm acrosome by the substances which are secreted by the uterus. When the capacitated sperm comes in contact with the corona radiata surrounding the oocyte, they undergo acrosomal reaction. The mammalian sperms, they produce an enzyme, hyaluronidase, to disperse the cells of corona radiata. When the cell first passes through the zona pellucida, cortical and zona reaction make it impermeable. It will block the entry of the other additional sperms so as to enter into the ovum or the egg. Now this mechanism ensures that each oocyte is fertilized only by one sperm. Now the secretion of the acrosome, it will help the sperm to enter the egg cytoplasm and the plasma membrane. At that instance, the second meiotic division, which had got arrested at the metaphase, it will take place and the secondary oocyte will form oocyte and produce a second polar body. The nuclei of the sperm and egg fuse to form the diploid zygote. Next is the cleavage. The cleavage division occurs as the fertilized ovum moves through the isthmus. It is a holoblastic cleavage, and the cells which are produced, like here there's a cell, these cells are referred to as the blastomeres. 30 hours after the fertilization, the cleavage process will begin. After 3 days, a mass of 12 to 16 cell is produced, which appears like a solid ball, and that is called as morula or little mulberry. After the repeated mitotic divisions, the zygote then passes, that means which is developed into morula, will then pass towards the uterus. 4 days after fertilization, when this morula, this stage, that is when this morula stage It reaches the uterus. Here, there's a central cavity which is found, which is referred to as the blastocoele. So, at this stage, the embryo will be referred to as the blastocyst or the blastula. So, morula transforms into blastula or blastocyst. Now, this blastocyst or the blastula, it consists of the outer cell mass, that is the trophoblast, which forms the bulk of the placenta so as to provide nourishment. It will produce the chorionic villi, with the help of which it gets attached to the endometrium lining. The inner cell mass, on the other hand, forms the three germ layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, referred to as the gastrulation. So the zygote undergoes cleavage to form 2, 4, 8, 16 cell. Cleavage is nothing but mitosis. First to produce morula and then the blastula, which comprises of the inner and the outer cell mass. The attachment to the uterus, it takes place with the help of the trophoblast, which is the outer cell mass. And thus here the attachment of the blastocyst, as we can see in the diagrammatic representation, has taken place with the help of the trophoblast. This is the detailed outline process of fertilization. Like the fertilization took place in the ampulla isthmus junction. This formation of zygote followed by mitosis. 30 hours after fertilization, mitosis starts so as to produce the morula, which then moves towards the uterus to form the blastula or blastocyst, comprising of the inner and the outer cell mass. Moving on to pregnancy and embryonic development. As can be seen in the diagrammatic representation, the trophoblasts, they develop finger-like projections which are referred to as chorionic villi, which will help in attachment of the developing fetus to the uterine wall. The nutritive tissue which provides nourishment, that is the referred to as the placenta. Amnion is actually a special protective membrane, and here the fluid which is present shown in green is the amniotic fluid. Chorion is the serosa. It's the extra embryonic membrane that surrounds the whole embryonic system. It basically develops from the trophoblast. Umbilical cord is the connectivity between the growing fetus and the mother. The chorionic villi and the uterine tissue, they get interdigitated to form placenta. Now, placenta is the functional unit between the embryo, that's the growing fetus, and the maternal body. Here, the umbilical cord is very clearly depicted in the diagrammatic representation. So, the diagrammatic representation depicts the umbilical cord over here. And a placenta is connected to the embryo by an umbilical cord. It transports substances to and from the embryo. Talking about the basic functions of placenta, that is, the underlying functions are: it acts as a barrier, it will supply oxygen and nutrients, it will remove the waste, and it also acts as an endocrine gland. During pregnancy, the estrogens, progesterone, the prolactin, which is required for the production of milk, they are also increased in the maternal blood. They support fetal growth and changes in the female body and help to maintain pregnancy. These stem cells which are present in the inner cell mass, they've got the potency to give rise to all the organs and tissues. Stem cells are basically the progenitor cells. In case of humans, the gestation period is 9 months, but that varies. For cat, it's 2 months, dog 2 months, elephants, it's 21 months. In the whole lifetime, the elephants will undergo reproduction just 6 times. Talking about the changes in the embryo during during the first, second, and third trimester can be underlined as: after the first month, the heart is formed, limbs and digits develop. At the end of the second month, at the end of the third trimester, the limbs and the genitalia are formed. At the end of the fifth month, the first movement of the fetus and appearance of hair on the head is observed. Second trimester, that means at the end of 24 weeks, eyelids separate, eyelashes are formed, and at the end, that is the 9 months of gestation period, when it is completed, the fetus is fully well developed to be parturated out from the mother's body. Now, parturition is a neuroendocrine mechanism because it exploits the signaling from the nervous system, and the endocrine systems are equally involved. The signal from the fetus and the placenta will induce the contraction referred to as fetal ejection reflex under the influence of the hormone, that is oxytocin, which is released from the posterior lobe of the pituitary. Oxytocin leads to stronger uterine muscle contraction, and that process will lead to expulsion of the body out from the uterus through the vaginal port, that's the birth canal. After parturition, the umbilical cord is cut off. The placenta and remnants of umbilical cord are expelled from the maternal body after parturition. The mammary glands at the end of pregnancy, they'll start producing milk, that is referred to as lactation. The milk produces yellow in color because it contains colostrum. It contains several antibodies, immunoglobulin like IgA, which helps to develop the resistance of the newborn. In this module, we had basically discussed about fertilization, implantation, discussed about gastrulation, parturition, and lactation. Hopefully, you must have garnered all the concepts thoroughly. Thank you.